We got to the Rivermouth campground at Tahquamenon River on Lake Superior, and we were parking in the overflow parking lot. Mara's gonna come pick us up and bring us over to Dollarville Flooding at Nathalie National Forest Campground to start our kayak journey. Thanks for picking us up, Mara.
Absolutely.
We're on the way to the Nathalie National Forest Campground. We're ready to go. Should be in Nathalie in 5-10 minutes. We got site number 6 at the Nathalie National Forest Campground, and there is only one other occupied site. They got a pit toilet. Here's the boat launch for the toilet. That's the Nathalie National Forest Campground, ready to hit the Tahquamenon River in the morning. $20 a night to self-registration. Walking down the short boardwalk at Nathalie Campground. It's a wildlife viewing blind at a short boardwalk at the campground. Got a nice fire going at our site, and it's pretty much mosquito free tonight. There's a great blue heron. 9 o'clock sunset. Subway for breakfast, and it got down probably in the 30s last night. We're going to be on the river by 8 o'clock today. This is the water source at the campground. We are launching. We're launching into Dollarville Flooding from Nathalie Campground. Winding our way through here trying to find the main river channel. Beautiful morning today on the river. We're heading through Dollarville Flooding. 8:47, we arrived at the dam. We reached the dam and we got a portage around it this morning. Very easy portage from right there at that deck down to here. Very simple. There's the dam. There's the dam. And there's the Dollarville Flooding where we just came from. The Tahquamenon River is 89.1 miles long and drains about 820 square miles of land. Swan up ahead and a little bit of a current. We're definitely cruising faster than we were in the Dollarville Flooding. 2 sandhill cranes, and it is pretty clear. We are drifting. Pretty good clip. It looks like a beaver lodge. Just had an osprey fly over, passing our second house since the dam. Arrived at Spider Bay. What do you think of Spider Bay, Paul?
Doesn't look any different than the rest of the river.
This river is doing a lot of meandering. We came up to the Tahquamenon River Nature Trail. We made it up to Highway 123, and there's a logging museum straight ahead. We'll probably get out here and stretch our legs. We arrived at 123 and kayak and canoe portage only. This is the logging museum. There's the old Pratt School. It's a logging museum. We are leaving the logging museum and we're crossing under Highway 123. Newberry's just down the road a few miles from here. That's the wastewater plant for Newberry. A few houses along the river here, not many. This is very peaceful along here. Hear a partridge drumming its wings. This water is really clear and brown with tannin. The bottom of this river is really solid sand. Very peaceful stretch through here. Paul maneuvered that one very well, like an expert. This is awesome day today.
This is red water.
Really pretty. The meaning of Tahquamenon is not known, but descendants of local Chippewa translated it to mean Lost River Island. We are passing a house on the river. Paul's turning the bend. Bald eagle up there. We've seen a few muskrats, a few turtles, quite a few ducks, birds of prey. There's another muskrat straight ahead of me right now. Someone actually cut this tree for us. Another bend in the river. I think there's a couple camping spots down that road.
How we doing?
Good, how are you doing? Good. We arrived at McPhee's Landing and we're gonna stretch our legs, maybe have something to eat. We're enjoying lunch at McPhee's Landing.
And so are the mosquitoes.
And the mosquitoes are too, and we're getting plenty of protein on mosquitoes today. We are back on the river after a mosquito-y lunch break and heading downstream to Frenchman's Lake. There's an old picnic table that got carried away in a flood, deposited on the bank. The river is pretty wide with really no discernible current and a lot of marsh along the edges. Paul's just cruising along. This is about the 7th beaver lodge we've seen. You can tell it's a beaver by the size of the sticks. There goes some trumpeter swans. I think I see Frenchman Lake up by those trees, so we're getting pretty close, and it's still a gorgeous day. Wind is starting to pick up quite a bit, and Frenchman's Lake should be just around the bend up at these trees. And we're starting to get into some higher ground up ahead with some more hardwood forests. Just past the channel of Frenchman Lake. We're going to keep going further today. See if we can find a spot up ahead so we don't have so many miles tomorrow. Passing another house. We're going to find a camp at the first place we see that looks inviting. This is our path in. Pretty mucky, but there's no easy way to get away from the river. But this one does have a small animal trail part way, which helps. I made one trip through this muck field. Okay, here we are, walking through the... Oh. I just sunk in up to my crotch. Paul's stuck. He's out. That's the bad spot. He's out. Holy cow, he was in deep. 3:58, we made it to this campsite, and it was tough getting in here off the river, but we made it. It was pretty rough getting in here with all these mosquitoes and mud, and holy cow, this is where I'm camped up here. It's not bad, it's got some shade. This is just like Fox River last year with mosquitoes. Pretty crazy. Paul's finishing his tent setup after a rest and a respite from the mosquitoes. There's the river over there somewhere. Killing all the mosquitoes that got in with me when I entered the tent, and there's a lot of them out there. I can just hear them buzzing. Sounds like mini chainsaws all around me. There's a lot of mosquitoes on the tent this morning, but they are not biting. So I think it's a little too cold for them this morning. So we're packing up mosquito free. There's Paul down there, and there's a river. We're leaving the swamp campsite, and it is mucky. Someone's dropped their shoes. I just found a shoe. Oh! I'm having a hard time videoing without free hands. I'll show you how I get through here. He made it through this morning. We just made it through. One more kayak to put in the water. There's our campsite right back in there. 8:15. We are on the river. What'd you think, Paul, getting on this morning through the swamp with all the mosquitoes? It was pretty wild.
Awesome.
There's another big beaver lodge. Paul heard a lot of large animals next to our tents last night, and something in the water. I slept through it all. Slept like a baby last night. Passing by the Sage River, and we're heading down this way. Man, the swans this morning were going wild. There's an eagle over there. Passing some houses in this section. Passing by another beaver lodge. Got a stretch of 3 or 4 houses along here. Coming up to the Dollarville trolley train and boat. They offer a train ride and also a boat tour to the Upper Falls, but it doesn't start till June 14th. Hiawatha. Another house along the river. We're out of the swampy, marshy area now, and hardwood forest goes right to the riverbank. There's our first boat of the day on the river. Good morning. There's the Henry River coming into the Tahquamenon. We refilled our water bottles with tannin water. I need to clean my pants. You can see how brown the water is with tannin. This is starting to look like the Tahquamenon River I recognize, with all the black spruce and cedar. Black spruce and cedar. We're passing the east branch of the Tahquamenon River, going down this way, and there's quite a few houses around here. A lot of houses around here. Paul is cruising. Look at him go on the mighty Tahquamenon River. It's a beautiful thing. Another house on the river. Too many people out here in the wilderness. This is Murphy Creek we're just passing at 11:51. Found a nice place on the bank for lunch. Nice sandy spot. The usual tortillas and peanut butter and gourd. Finished lunch, and it's about 80 degrees out here, I'm guessing. There is absolutely no current on this river. We're passing Camp Paradise Lodge. It's like a nice place. Pretty quiet today. And we gotta be getting real close to Joy Island. That's Joy Island. Go around it.
I'm not sure which way to go here. I think left maybe.
This is it, straight ahead. It'd be hard to find if we didn't have a map.
It's a pretty spot in the river. Kind of narrows down. Muskrat right ahead of me. I'm racing him. Or maybe an otter. Don't know for sure. Lots of cedar, black spruce, white pine, and hemlock along the banks here. And a lot of maple trees also mixed in. 3:14. Found a nice spot. This is where we're gonna set up camp. What do you think, Paul? Look okay?
Looks good.
This is a spot. This is a spot for Saturday night. Paul's setting up the tent, and the mosquitoes are pretty bad, but not absolutely horrible. We can survive it. There's a few buzzing around, a few hundred, maybe a few thousand, but 19 miles today, and we are all set up. Just taking a break in our tents from the mosquitoes. There's a view from my tent, straight up. So peaceful laying in here right now. Here we are, cooking dinner. Cooking some potatoes and cheese tonight. Paul's doing the potatoes and cheese tonight also. There's the river. How was dinner in the tent?
Excellent.
Dinner in the tent tonight because of all the mosquitoes out there. We're camped on a animal trail here, going through the woods. 8:40, sun is going down on the Tahquamenon River. Packing up this morning. Paul's packing his bags, and it's a beautiful morning. There's the river this morning. There's our campsite, and we're a couple miles from the upper falls. Mosquitoes were still pretty dormant when we packed up, so that was good. We are on the river, and it's a beautiful morning. Probably 55 out here this morning. Little bit of steam rolling on the water this morning. Beaver just slapped his tail, one under, about 50 feet ahead of us. There's Camp Ananias. Came up to the sign for the falls. Caution, waterfalls ahead. Can hear him over there. This is the dock, and the falls are up that way. Current started getting pretty rough. We're gonna start walking from here. 8:54, we're gonna start portaging our kayaks down this trail. Down this way. Nice trail. We don't know where it's gonna lead exactly when we get to the falls, but we'll find out. Carrying one kayak at a time. This portage is a little more extensive than we anticipated. Yeah, we're on our last section with our last kayak, so we're getting close. Then we got the steep downhill on the boardwalks. River's down there, and we portaged to the top of the boardwalk. There's a staircase going down to the top of the falls. There's the top of the falls, and there's the state park side over there. There's the upper falls. Never been on this side. There's the staircase we gotta bring our kayaks down. Ooh. Going down. This is our last stretch for the kayaks. There's the upper falls. The upper falls are over 200 feet across and drop about 48 feet and drain up to 50,000 gallons of water per second. That's where we came up from to get to the river. Now we're gonna head downstream to the lower falls. There goes Paul at the falls. Well, we made it past the upper falls. It was pretty cool. Could portage the kayaks up from here. This is where we would have come down if we portaged on this side. Quite a few rapids here just after the falls, and I gotta make sure I don't hit a rock with this kayak. Very peaceful on this stretch of the river, and we probably won't see any other boats because there's no place to get on. And the hiking trails over there from the upper to lower falls. It's so peaceful out here this morning. Hikers walking down the trail. Time we got some more rapids and made it through unscathed. Got another set of rapids up ahead. Did you hit a rock? Okay, Paul made it through without any rocks. This is crazy. 12:20, there's a big set of rapids coming up. Tell me if you hit a rock. I'll walk my kayak through here. I'm walking my kayak through here because it's getting pretty rough. I had to walk the kayak around that one or I would have bottomed out. And there's more up ahead. Gotta walk around these. Paul can take his kayak, won't get damaged. We're walking our kayaks through here. Paul just almost capsized, lost his paddle. I almost died trying to retrieve it, the paddle. Walking the kayaks for quite a stretch here. We just walked the kayak through this whole stretch with the rapids. One set of falls we gotta carry it around before we get to the actual lower falls. And we still have a little bit to go. The lower falls. Here's the bridge out to the island. We'll take a walk around the island. Take a walk around the island. Moving the kayak through the water. This is a bigger job than we thought getting these kayaks through here, but we're gonna manage. This is our emptying zone at this boardwalk. We got about maybe a 300-foot walk to get back out. So carry our kayaks around this little stretch, and there's the island 240. We made it around the falls with our portaging. So continue downstream or past the falls. Heading to Old Stove campsite tonight. Now we're gonna head ashore and get some water and then be on our way. This is all new. Gift shops this year. New restrooms. Yes. 3:15, we're ready to leave the lower falls, head back out to Old Stove. Just left
lower falls, and lost all my maps and mileages, so I don't know how far we have to go. Maybe 5 miles, and I'm hoping we can find a campsite. This is a Blackwater River. Most Blackwater rivers are found in the Amazon or southern United States. Gets its name Blackwater from the dark colors from the tannin from spruce trees, cedar, and hemlock trees that line the banks. It was a tough day today. I mean, that first portage was pretty long, and the second one was harder than I thought it would be. Another bend in the river. How is it there in the shade? Taking a water break in the shade. We're even seeing boats on this stretch of the river. But unfortunately, we had nice white pines lining the bank. Nice brown tannin. 413 shows a white-tailed deer. Can still see a bear. Seen plenty of them in this area in the past. Another bend in the river. We arrived at Old Stove campsite and we saw the trail going in. Thank goodness, because we didn't have any maps. So this is it. The river and about a 50-foot walk to Old Stove campsite with a picnic table and a fire pit. Hey Paul, it was a tough day today. It really was.
It was.
But we made it.
On that favorite spot.
Go down there a little ways. There's the Old Stove. $20 a night. We made reservations ahead of time. There's the North Country Trail, and this is going into the campsite. It's about a 300-foot walk or so from the main trail to the campsite. Took shelter in the tent again tonight, and I probably killed 20 mosquitoes that got in with me. A lot of battle scars from today. Today's our last day. We're heading out we should be on the river by 7, heading to Lake Superior. Mosquitoes are ferocious this morning. Didn't get as cold last night, so they're not in dormant mode. Okay, here's my gear. Got my stove, bed mat, odds and ends. Got my clothes, got my tent, got my stuff that I need during the day on top of the kayak, got my food. Brought tennis shoes for at night and a backpack to help carry our gear on the portages, my sun hat, life jacket, and what I have on. On the water this morning. We are on the water this morning. We headed out early. Mosquitoes were eating us alive, and Paul's munching on some breakfast this morning, and he gave me a happy birthday morning. Thank you, Paul. There's the entrance to Old Stove campsite, and it's pretty easy to see. The camp's just about 100 feet in there. The ferns and wildflowers are really starting to pop out here right now. Beautiful morning out here. Mist is playing on the water and nice temperature, and there's no mosquitoes out on the river. A couple really cool cabins up here on this stretch. T-boned him. He's out of control. I'm turning him. He's helpless.
That branch is reflected in the water perfectly. There goes Paul racing downstream like a pro. Ferns are starting to come up. Few places along the river, but not many in this stretch. Calm water this morning, no air movement. Probably upper 50s this morning and clear skies. For the last leg of our journey to Rivermouth Campground on Lake Superior. The river has really widened out in this stretch. Looks like the mouth of the Amazon or something. There's an island. I think it's only the second one we've seen on this river. Running into a lot more houses in this stretch. There's a bunch of geese. There's a bit of the bald eagle straight in front of me. It's 9:07 and we put a few miles behind us today already. We aren't too far, we're probably 2 miles away, maybe 3 from Lake Superior. More kayakers again. Paul is moving along. Look at him go. I should T-bone him again and send him on a tailspin. The first kayakers we've seen on the river. Do you guys come from Superior? We're about a half an hour away from Lake Superior. Canadian geese aren't too happy with us right now. We made it to the campground, Rivermouth Campground. A couple turtles on a log. Some really pretty marshes across from the Rivermouth Campground. Oh, we're almost there. We are almost to Lake Superior. We're gonna get out one last time and stretch at the Rivermouth Campground before we get to Lake Superior. Pretty tannin in the water. Cruising along the edge of the campground. 10:42, I see Lake Superior. We made it. We're almost there. It's Lake Superior. Gitchigumi, the Great Sea. I see the bridge. Crossing under the highway. There's Lake Superior. There's the boat ramp and launch that we're going to get out at, but we have to get out into Lake Superior first. We're into Lake Superior! Paul! Yay! We made it to Lake Superior! This is the shoreline of Lake Superior. We are officially back. Our car is right across the street. Paul, congratulations, we made it from Dollarville Flooding to Lake Superior. Great trip, a few mosquitoes. Paul almost capsized once, but it was an excellent trip. Got the kayak loaded up, we're ready to head back south. We're leaving the boat ramp. Right across the street is where we had our car staged at the Rivermouth Campground. That was the sign they made for us for a car, which was nice of them. So the ranger wouldn't wonder where we were. It's Monday, Memorial Day, and it is a big lineup at the bridge today. We got a lot of traffic.